All right, guys, so some of you have sent me a story that you want me to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it, okay? Because this topic is pretty interesting, and I've talked about a topic similar to this before, right? Contrary to popular belief, I'm not afraid to talk about topics that seem to be examples of blatant racism against black people, right? To a certain extent. Or put it this way, maybe this is a blatant example of how somebody could reveal that they have racist feelings about a certain group of people. So let's talk about it, because I find this story to be interesting. As Lafayette city judge, a judge in Louisiana, Miss Michelle Odinet, home was broken into. Okay, that what she says was an armed burglary, even though the police are saying that's not what it was, but she's saying it was an armed burglary. Now, the guy who allegedly committed this burglary, this is a picture of him, Mr. Ronald Handy, has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of simple burglary. Okay, and he's currently being held in the Lafayette Parish Jail on a $10,000 bond. Now, here's where the controversy comes in. Okay, there was a video that somehow got leaked to the internet of this judge watching the security footage of this burglary happening. Now, in the security footage, you can see that the burglar trying to get in, and I believe that maybe one of her family members was confronting him or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell in the footage, but from the conversation, that's what it seemed like. And while they're watching this footage, she's heard calling the burglar, the guy trying to break into their house, the N-word with the hard ER multiple times, referring to him as an N-word in a very derogatory way. Okay, in a very, very, very derogatory way. Now, somehow that video was leaked to the internet, and people are now seeing that video, and now it is going viral, and people are calling for her to resign over the fact that she used this racial slur in this video in her own home. Okay, now I have some opinions on this. But before I get into it, I want to show you guys a news clip of this incident so that you guys can get a thorough understanding of what's going on, and then I'll give you guys my opinion. Take a look.
Joining us, a Lafayette City Court judge, I should say, is being called to resign after a video admittedly taken in her home contained racial slurs.
Judge Michelle Odinet said that she and her family were the victims of an armed burglary at their home this past Saturday. 59-year-old Ronald Handy was arrested and charged with 2 counts of simple burglary. Lafayette Police Sergeant Paul Mouton confirmed with News 10 Handy did not have a weapon when he was arrested. But the story developed yesterday when a video surfaced with the N-word being used by a man and woman amid laughter while surveillance video was being watched. Judge Odinet said at the time of the video she was on sedative and has no recollection of the recording or the language used in it. However, not everyone is convinced, and some leaders are asking for more from the judge. News 10's Neil Zarang is in studio and shares their reactions. Neil.
Thanks, Dalfred. And everyone, if you have not seen this video yet on social media, it's not great listening, and it was very difficult for Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas, who works to protect the judge every day.
When you go to court and you know somebody has say those type of words, you cannot be comfortable in court thinking that somebody is going to treat you correctly. So this is a problem. This is a major problem.
City Marshal Reggie Thomas is the first African-American elected in a citywide seat in Lafayette. When he heard about the video circulating online and thought he heard racial slurs from Judge Odinet's mouth, it hurt him.
A weak apology will not suffice.
When called about the video, Judge Odinet emailed us a statement. She said, "The incident shook me to my core and my mental state was fragile. I was a wreck and am still unable to sleep. I was given a sedative at the time of the video. I have zero recollection of the video and the disturbing language used during it. Anyone who knows me and my husband knows this is contrary to the way we live our lives. I am deeply sorry and ask for your forgiveness and understanding as my family and I deal with this emotional aftermath of this armed burglary." As the report spread, so is the outcry. The Lafayette NAACP president asked for Judge Odinet's resignation, even that her decisions concerning people of color be rescinded. State Senator Gerald Boudreaux is requesting the Judiciary Commission of Louisiana investigate, as well as the Louisiana Black Caucus.
It's nothing funny about what my ancestors went through. who were called that word. There's nothing funny about it. Let's respect those who were beaten, who they took the fire hoses out. So that's what it brings up. That's the hatred that it brings up. And so, do people feel comfortable? No, they don't.
None of the people behind the voices heard on the video can be seen as the camera is pointing directly at a screen showing security footage of the break-in attempt. But after Judge Odinet's response to the burglary and recording, some just can't accept nothing being done about it.
True character is shown in the worst of times. We could talk about apologies. We could talk about resignations. But I think what we have to talk about is accountability. Don't make excuses for something you did.
Mayor President Josh Guillory also released a statement this afternoon concerning Judge Odinet and a video. It reads, quote, "I am disgusted and appalled by the recent reports involving a local judge. This type of language is hurtful, divisive, and unacceptable. The fairness and objectivity of our courts are the foundation of our legal system. It is my hope that the judge will do what is best to help the community heal and move forward." End quote. Judge Odinet was not at work today. She gave no indication in her statement that she would be stepping down from her position. Niels Rang, KLFY News 10.
All right, guys. So I would play the video recording of what was actually said. However, I just don't feel comfortable putting it on YouTube at this point because, you know, I've dealt with some things with YouTube, and I just really don't even want to touch it right now. Now it's not the best time for me to push this button, right? So if you want to find a video, it is on the internet, right? You can find it if you want to hear it, but trust me, like she said the N-word, and it did not sound like that she was sedated when she said it. She said it multiple times, calling the dude the N-word while he's trying to break in her house. And listen, from a certain standpoint, right? I kind of get you being upset, okay, that somebody's trying to break into your house to the point where you call them derogatory terms. Like I kind of get that, right? Anybody will be upset at somebody trying to break into their house. However, you said what you said, so you should just own up to what you said, right? Just say, hey, you know what? I said it. I was sober, and you know what? I don't take it back, right? I mean, listen, if that's how you really feel, I'm so serious, because I would rather you say that than for you to sit here and to say that you were sedated when it's very clear in the video you were not sedated. And also, if you are sedated, that doesn't cause you to say things like that. That's not the reason why you said it. You said it because you was upset about the person breaking into your house, and that's how you felt about them, right? I mean, it is what it is. I'm not offended. I'm not hurt. That's how you felt, right? I'm more offended by the fact that she thinks people are stupid enough to believe her story, right? And, you know, it reminds me of that story that I did, you know, a few months back during the summer about Tommy Bryant, who was a council member of a small town in like Alabama or something like that. And this dude doing a board meeting just flat out got up and called a black woman the N-word. Right? Now, in all fairness to Tommy, he's saying that he didn't call her that. He was repeating what he heard somebody else call her. That's what he's saying. And then he went on TV after that and said, I'm not resigning and I don't apologize. Right? And it's like, hey, from a certain perspective, I don't agree with his use of the term, right? I obviously think that, again, it's bad for him to use that. But the fact is that he went out there and he owned up to what he said, and he didn't apologize for what he said. In my opinion, that goes further than making up a silly excuse like this, right? In my opinion. Because, again, from a certain standpoint, it's like, well, you know, hey, she's in her own home. She has free speech. I mean, are you going to police the use of the word in her home? And the only reason that people know about it is because this video was leaked. Now, I have a whole lot of questions about the video being leaked, because in the video, it seemed like, I don't know, maybe she was just around her family. Maybe some friends were there. But, hey, I'm going to tell you something. The fact that video got leaked mean that, hey, you ain't got no ride or die folks in your family, your friends. She really need to check her circle of friends, okay? Because one of those people leaked that video, okay? So she really need to check her circle, because they ain't ride or die, right? Leaking a video like that. That basically probably is going to ruin her career. Now, with that being said, now gets to, okay, whether or not she should resign. Now, this is where, again, it gets kind of tricky in my opinion, because she did say the word at home. I'm not defending her using that word at all. But the thing is that her using that word to describe that man, right, who was trying to break into her home, even though she was probably obviously upset, does kind of show, in my opinion, does indicate the fact that she decided to use a racially based slur, that she may have bias when it comes to the criminal justice system and her job as a judge, right? It's the same exact thing that I said about Biden's newly appointed U.S. attorney, Miss Rachel Rollins, who was caught on video basically going on this race rant about white folks, right? And I said in that video that I feel like somebody like her probably shouldn't be working for the government, right? Shouldn't really be a part of our criminal justice system, considering how those words that she's saying indicates that she may have bias. Hey, I said that there. I have to apply that same standard here, okay? That interview was done off her job, like this recording was not at this person's job. Now, with that being said, would I force Miss Rollins to resign because of her comments? No, she should not be forced to resign. The same way I don't feel like this woman, right, should be forced to resign, okay? You can call for them to resign all you want to. However, I don't think they should be forced. I didn't think that Tommy Bryant should be forced. However, you know, should they probably resign because of things they said and how it seems that they probably have some racial bias? Yeah, they probably should. They probably should voluntarily step down. But they should not be forced to do it, okay? That's my nuanced opinion on this. And I'm applying that across the spectrum. I want people to understand that. When people get caught saying stuff like this, again, the free speech argument is that they do have the free speech to say that if they want to say it. And in these cases, this stuff wasn't said on the job. I mean, well, with Tommy's case, his stuff technically was said on the job, but yeah, anyways. And in my opinion, we shouldn't live in a society where we're forcing people to resign from positions where they are forced, again, by the government because of free speech. However, the moral argument is that they probably should resign. And ideally, she voluntarily does it. Okay, just like I think that Rollins should probably voluntarily resign for the things that she said, and Tommy Bryant probably should as well, even though he's gonna keep running, right? So I mean, listen, you know, my biggest thing is not the fact that she said it. Okay, I'm personally, I don't really get hurt by stuff like that. I know that this is stuff that people say, okay, but again, because I know that, I understand it, I accept it, I don't get hurt by it. However, I think I'm more offended by the fact that she tried to come up with this silly excuse for why she said it instead of just owning up to it and saying that she said it, right? If you said it, own up to it, say that you said it, and if you want to apologize, apologize, and if you don't. That's how I feel about it. But what you don't do is come up with a silly excuse for why you said it when we all know you said it because you mean it. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.